Hey everybody, it's Dave here, Holiday for Two. Hope you're having a good day. Today's video, what I'm going to do is a short-term review of my experiences in using the AC180 by Bluetti for the last couple months on some of the trips that we've taken. I'm going to give you some of the highs and some of the lows. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. And don't forget to subscribe and then ring that little bell on the side so you'll be notified when I put out more videos in the future. So let's get to it. My short-term review of Bluetti's AC180.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Alright, welcome back everybody. So I'm going to break this video down into two sections. The first section, I'm just going to go through the reasons that I bought this and what I like about it, the highs and the lows of the AC180. And the second half of the video, I'm going to give you some tips that of my experience in using these kind of devices in your RV. I'm going to give you a couple tips to think about before you go out and spend some of your money buying one of these. Some things to think about before you do. So let's get to part one. Why did I buy the AC180? There's a couple of things I really liked about this. First of all, right now you can find these on sale on Amazon and through Bluetti and some other websites. You can find some really good prices on these. In fact, the price of what they're selling these for now, I've seen them almost what they were selling the EB70 for about a year and a half ago. And this is a unit that I bought about 3.5 years ago. And this is a 330 watt power station called Zoom Bros. There's a lot of brands like that are kind of weird brands. But I bought this 3.5 years ago and it's still a really good little unit. It's only 330 watts with about 280 watt hours. And then I bought the EB70 a year and a half ago. And it's this is the EB70S. Which means it has a capacity to power devices 800 watts or less. And so this I bought about a year and a half ago. But I bought the AC180 because I wanted something with more power, something that would power devices that I couldn't power with the EB70. And the AC180 has the capability of powering devices that will go up to 1800 watts. And of course you can use the app. And I'll talk about this in just a minute because that's going to be one of the things I like about it. But you can go on the app and you can set this for heavy lifting so you can power devices up to 2700 watts. Power lifting on the app, you can adjust the power lifting, which means this will go up to 2700 watts. So that's the thing that I like about it. I also like the fact that you can download an app from Bluetti. If you have an Android phone or an iPhone, doesn't matter. You can go on to your Apple Store or your Android Store or Google Store, and you can look for the app from Bluetti that will let you hook up with this through Bluetooth. So that's a positive thing, because one of the things I really wanted when I got the EB70 after I got it and started using it is I wanted to be able to turn it on and off remotely. So I like the price point. I like the fact that it'll go up to 1800 watts. I can use this to if I need any power tools while I'm out camping, or if I want to run a toaster, a coffee pot, electric grill, griddle, or anything like that. It'll power most anything that I'm using in the RV, with the exception of my air conditioner. Now my air conditioner on my RV is a 13,500 BTU rooftop air, and it pulls about 30 amps. I would not recommend trying to run a rooftop air through this unless your air conditioning is a smaller unit. Bluetti does make one called the 200 Max, and it has the RV plug on the side over here. So if your intention is to use this in your RV to run your air conditioning or any heavy use items, you might want to think about upgrading to the 200 Max, because it does have the RV plug on the side over here. That's a 30 amp plug. This one just has, the AC180 just has the 4 outlets. The other thing I really like about it is the fact that you don't have a brick with this. Now, those of you that bought the EB70, or maybe you bought some other unit, units come with a little power brick that you have to plug into the wall. and then your power brick plugs into the unit to charge it. The AC180 doesn't have any of that. It has its own cable that you can plug into the wall, and then it plugs into the side. It's a very heavy duty cable, and it can charge by just plugging it right directly into a wall outlet. So if you're in your RV and you need to charge this up and you have your generator on, you can plug this directly into one of your outlets and charge this up. And it has 3 charging modes. That's where the app comes in handy. This is really a huge positive, one of the pluses that I like about this unit. And a lot of Bluetti units are doing this now, as well as some of the others. Little tip for you: if you like me, you like to use iPads sometimes, or maybe you like to switch to your phone. If you do try to switch from a phone to an iPad, you're going to have to turn the Bluetooth off on the phone and then log in on your pad. If you try to log in with 2 devices, it's not going to work. So let's go through the app and some of the things that I set mine for. I just did an update. So you can go down at the bottom of the app here, it says firmware upgrade. So you tap on that, and then it'll show you whether there's any upgrades you need to do. Charging mode, on the app you have 3 charging modes: standard, silent, and turbo. Standard mode charges at about 500-600 watts. So if you plug this into the wall and you have it set for standard, it's going to pull about 600 watts through the outlet. If you have it on silent mode, it's going to go around 250 watts. But the fan will be on low speed and you will barely even hear it. So if it's an issue where you say you want this to be real quiet while it's charging somewhere in the house or in your RV, then you're going to put it on silent mode. There's the other mode called turbo. And turbo is the mode that you're going to use if you want to charge it up really fast. And I think it goes up to like 1200 watts. It pulls a lot of power through. So you want to make sure you have it plugged in somewhere where it's going to handle that much power. So you have the 3 charging modes: standard, silent, and turbo. Then you have a button here on your app where you can select power lifting. And that's if you want to power something that's going to go over 800 watts. You can use that little button on there and set it for power lifting mode. The other mode is eco. After you have power lifting, I keep power lifting mode turned off. Eco mode, on here there's an eco mode, and you can turn those off or leave them on. If you turn them on, the unit will shut down if it's being used on something, and after a certain period of time it will shut itself off if you have it on eco mode, just to save the drain on the batteries. It will shut the whole unit off. If you turn off the eco mode, it will stay on as long as these buttons are left on, and they should still be on. Yeah, everything's still turned on. So that's the eco mode. Auto sleep, if you decide you want it to sleep, I have mine right now set on never, but you can set it for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, or never. So hopefully this will stay on while I'm doing the video, and that's why I set it to never. Now if I'm in the RV, I'll probably set it for 5 minutes, but it just depends. So that means that after 5 minutes, everything here will shut off on the display, which is one of the things I liked about this. I like the display. It's easy to read. It's also easy to see how much power is coming in, how much power is going out, how much battery percentage you have left. It also gives you an indicator down below of how long this unit will run at that amount of pull. So if I have something plugged into here that's taking 200 watts, there's a little indicator here that will tell me how long this unit will run pulling 200 watts, which is nice, because then you can see, oh, maybe I better plug something else in or unplug something to lower the power drain. So it's kind of nice. I do like that. You can also upgrade the firmware through the app, as well as all the user manuals are also available for access through the app. All right, so let me recap a couple of things that I really like about this unit. Price. The second thing I like is display. I like the Bluetooth capability. I like the app, that you can connect up the app and use the app to control this. That was something that I really wanted to have with the EB70 that it didn't have, the Bluetooth capability. I also like the fact that you've got the heavy duty power cord. There's no brick. Great thing to have. keep your power cord with you handy when you go camping, just in case you want to plug this in and charge it from your generator. Otherwise, you got your solar power plug right up here. And that gives me to my next thing, the lows. And that really, it's not, my lows are not necessarily directed to the AC180, but into all of these in general. When you go out and buy a power station, that's what these are. Sometimes you see these, they call these generators. These are not generators. I see some people list them as generators. They're really just lithium ion phosphate batteries that have power inverters built in and other doohickeys that let you, like the app and everything, the Bluetooth capability, let you control it. That's really all this is. This is a battery with a power inverter. Something to think about is this unit right here is 330 watts. If I take a small solar panel out with me, a 60 watt or 100 watt solar panel, I can charge this baby up in about 3 hours. So today in Arizona, we have rain clouds today, rain clouds on Friday, rain clouds on Saturday. I'm sure that in some parts of the country you have cloud cover maybe for a whole week, right? The more solar panels that you have available, the better. I have a 200 watt panel that I bought with the EB70. If I had a good day of sunshine and 5 hours of sunshine, I could recharge the EB70 up in 5 hours. But it wasn't quite enough to charge up the AC180. So I went and bought another solar panel. I now have two 200 watt solar panels. And I did a review of that, so if you are interested in checking it out, I found one for $150, actually less than that. It's a CROS brand, Cross. And I'll put the link up here in the corner of the video so you can go check it out. So I'm going to take the second panel and use both panels, one for each of these, so that keeps them charged up. Which is a little thing, a little tip for you. If you already have one of these solar batteries, maybe it's a Jackery, maybe it's a Bouge RV, or maybe it's a EcoFlow, whatever it might be, and you decide to get one of these, you can charge this up using another power station. You just want to make sure you use the cable that plugs in here and then plug the end of that cable into the other power station. Let's say you want to charge this up with this, or you want to charge this up with this. You can do either way. You just need the cable that goes from one unit to the other. You can kind of go between these two. You can actually use any one of these to power the other one. But there was one little weird thing that I did discover. I plugged the main power cord from the AC180 into the EB70 and plugged it into the AC power section. And I had it on silent mode, which I thought was about 250 watts. Okay, so I plugged the EB70 into the AC180 using the main power cord, turned on my coffee pot, which is about 600 or 700 watts, and then all of a sudden it went up to about 850 watts. When I had it plugged in that way, it started to pull 850 watts from the EB70, and the EB70 will shut down as soon as it goes over 800 watts. This unit will shut down, and in fact that happened. As I was watching it, it was charging up just fine. It was going 700, 750, 800, 850, pulling in 850 watts out of the EB70, and the next thing I know, the EB70 just shut down. So beware of that. And that was on silent mode, which was kind of weird. I didn't think it was going to go higher than 200 watts. Just so you know, Bluetti right now is making so many of these units, and they even have a new upgrade of this. They call the AC180P, I believe it is. That I was just looking at it on Amazon. This is the AC180P. What's the difference between the AC180P and the AC180? Well, this one has 1152 watt hours. The AC180P has 1440 watt hours. Same battery, but it has a little more capacity on the watt hours. But it also is a little more expensive, which is probably why they're trying to sell these at such a discount right now. But if you already have a solar battery, maybe a Jackery or a Zumbros or an EB70, whatever, you can use these to keep this topped off. You just need to have that adapter so that you can plug in to here or into the power cord here to keep this topped off, which is what I do in my RV. So I hope you like this video, guys. Before you go out and spend any money, do your due diligence. Figure out what you need. If you're going to be running air conditioning and heavy duty things, then you might want to look for something like the AC180 Max, or one of the other EcoFlow has one that has a higher ability. A lot of these companies produce units that will produce 2,000, 2,500 watts, and they have the RV plug here, the 30 amp plug. So it's something to consider if you're going to be running lots of stuff. And also, make sure you have enough solar panels to keep them fed, because these babies get hungry and you got to feed them. This is Dave from Holiday for Two saying, hey guys, safe travels wherever you're going, and get out there and see the country. It's a beautiful country out there, and have a great day. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.